is it gets muddled out there is there is a limit to what a lobbyist can give you financially. So this idea that they can come with truckloads of money and convince you to vote for this issue, there's no lobbyist that can legally bring more than like $5,000. And when you're dealing with, I got to raise 2 million or $4 million this campaign cycle, you have to have absolutely no moral fortitude to change your view and your position and how you would vote if it was just for 5 grand. Now, one thing to keep in mind is there are many issues out there that people don't really have many opinions about. I could, whatever it is, I could come up with something now and you'd be like, I don't really know either way, right?
Hmm.
And in that case, a lobbyist could see that as an opportunity to go and kind of describe their side and swing somebody over. The other sad thing, though, is like, it really, many of these issues are just straight up down the line partisan. Somebody in the party somewhere makes a decision, we're on this side, and everybody kind of sticks to that.
Yeah. The yeah, I've noticed that's a problem. That's a whole separate set of things.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a 5 hour conversation too.
I'm kind of curious on. I'm trying to think. My overall take on like lobbying related stuff is one of the things that frustrates me so much about U.S. politics is like everybody thinks that everything is corrupt and rigged and terrible,
Yeah.
and because of that view, when things are actually corrupt and rigged and terrible, people don't realize like how
Right.
bad a thing can be. And for the lobbying stuff, there are so many numbers or figures that get thrown around where like people will have a stat where it's like, 96% of the people that this lobbyist supported voted this way or whatever.
Right.
And I've talked to now several people that have been in Congress, and what you just said is the answer they usually give. And when you think about it that way, it's like, well, if you're a pro-union guy and then a union lobbyist comes up to you, well, you're probably already voting that way anyway. But I think a lot of people, when they hear those stats, like 96% of congressmen voted with, APAC or this lobbyist or whatever, it's like, well, APAC's not voting to people that or throwing money at people that hate, Israel or
Right.
Israeli interests or whatever. Not to bring up APAC, the most politically charged issue, but like generally when a
Right.
lobbyist is supporting somebody, usually they're already kind of like on that side anyway. And then the big issues that I see where lobbyists can make a lot of headway are just things that like nobody knows anything about. Like if there's
Yeah.
like a lobbyist corporation for why we should use copper gold alloy, electrical wires, like maybe they could have a great influence in Congress because the average citizen just doesn't have much of an opinion on it.
That's exactly right. And that's the thing is like there are so when I say like unions, for example,
Hmm.
it's not like we have votes that are like unions yes or unions no.
Hmm.
There are so many things in there from like, okay, we're going to talk about minimum wage here. We're going to talk about immigration. Unions typically are more restrictive on immigration. We're going to talk about right to work. We're going to, there's all these little nuances that they have to deal with those issues. If you think about